The kidneys are the synonymous with fear. And if you think about, when you are scared, often there's this involuntary urination. So they do go hand in hand. So I'm blending, very aware of the oil and water phenomenon, that things don't necessarily blend together, but I'm giving it a go anyway. So blending both the yin, which is the kidney meridian, as well as our Western understanding of where the kidneys are. So you can actually place your hands onto them so strangely, they are two kidney-shaped organs. Feel for the bottom of your ribs there, and placing your hands over the kidneys, which filter the blood. And so it can be like dehydration, but also what I'm wanting from you for this practice is to have a feeling of safety and a feeling of them being plump and full, the kidneys at the back body there. So there's a couple of things with that, but we'll explore that throughout the class. So a little bit of flow, slow flow, a little bit of yin, and a little bit of restorative, all blended together. So I hope you enjoy. You can come into child's pose, just a ordinary child's pose without any support. If you need some support under the knees, of course, and you have handy a bolster and a block and your blanket, or perhaps two. May I borrow? Yeah, thank you. So most of all, connecting into this shape of child's pose. Find what it is for you. Maybe it's hands or arms in front of you, maybe it's hands back alongside the feet, but just getting a sense of feeling safe. Like you are safe within your mother's womb. And if that wasn't a safe experience for you, then just imagining something that was. So going into this feeling of being enveloped, wrapped, held. And you can allow the breath to start to lengthen down into the belly. And that tidal rhythm of the breath, this gentle ebb and flow. And allowing the breath to invite in even more feeling of safety, of being secure. Then bring the hands up onto the back and make loose fists. And that kidney region that we were holding before, now start to give it a rub. So what's going on is that we don't have much neural mapping of the back body. And therefore, it's hard to even place our awareness there. So as you're rubbing this area, either with like the thumb, fist, or the palms, whatever you're all doing different, beautiful, unique versions. So whatever it is for you, but there's that beautiful kahuna saying, wherever awareness goes, energy flows. So as you rub this area and feel the warmth there, Feel like your attention is going there, your awareness is going there, and therefore energy. You're awakening this kidney region. Yes, maybe the seat of fear, but as this yin-yang, there must be the flip side, that of being safe, of being secure. So you can then release the hands back down and feel that residual heat and warmth and start to breathe into the kidneys. So as you inhale, you could imagine plumping, fluffing the kidneys up, like they're inflating one side, either side of the spine there at the bottom of the rib cage. And even breathing out to the side ribs to welcome this energy in. And experiencing what it is for you to feel safe. Maybe you can remember a time when you felt safe. Maybe it's when you're at home or cozy in your bed. And something that's right for you, relevant for you. And then sliding the hands under the shoulders and lifting yourself up. You can flick the legs around to one side and coming on up to this, what I call beach pose. Quite relaxed. And then allowing the knees to drop down to the right side. So have the feet apart as wide as the mat and then drop the knees down to the right. And over to the left. So this deer pose, yes. Making room, making space. And next time you stop over on the right side, we'll come into this deer pose. So hooking the feet around. I like to tuck the right foot underneath the left thigh. If you need to lift the hips up, you could do that either with a cushion or even with your block. Oh, that's quite comfy. Inhaling and taking the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring the hands down through Namaste. So rather than thumbs at the breastbone of Namaste, actually bring them down at the front expression of your kidneys. So like the solar plexus, thumbs down here. And start to, again, plump out the kidneys. So it's like you're moving the front ribs into the body. And then as you inhale, you can open the arms out. Open the arms out and even feeling a kidney compression there. And as you exhale, just fold and bring the arms in front of you. So this kidney region, we're moving back and forth. Feel it plump and full and inhaling that. A bit of a squeeze and soak. So squeezing, wringing, and then into the fullness of the kidneys. So this, again, just this awareness of, and that we don't naturally have the nerve endings there, so it's a little more challenging. So if you needed to close your eyes to keep your focus in the back body, to continue to breathe into the kidneys, then you could do that. So then keep that rounded shape, come back, hands to Namaste and lifting yourself up through center. Inhale to take the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, take the left hand down, lean over to the left. Yeah. That's it. Inhale back up through center and leaning off to the right side. Cup the head with the hand and imagining a massive beach ball here that's laying on your right thigh. And as you exhale, take the left elbow over the beach ball, and like you're trying to touch the elbow to the knee, but it's not going to get there because the beach ball's in the way. Inhaling to open and exhaling, rounding. Inhale, breathe into, in particular, that left kidney and left side ribs. And notice how much quietness comes just as you're asked to be aware of a different part of the body. Maybe something that you're not used to being aware of. And then inhaling to lift. You can stretch the left arm up, come all the way up and bring the palms to touch. Exhale the hands down through center. Take the hands down onto the floor behind you, and either just lifting and opening here, or if you'd like to, you could lift the hips up and come into this open shape. And the kidney meridian runs down the inside of the leg. So you can then release and touch down. You can bring that right foot out a little, and let's just connect to. So I've got an awesome inner seam of my pants that's kind of roughly, very roughly, tracing the line of the meridian. With the heel of your hand, I'm going left hand, just from above the ankle bone, just press in to that inner seam of the pants and then press and release. So leaning in, just lean your body in and release and moving up. So kidney energy in the Chinese system moves up, as in, if you had a problem, then you'd have downward moving energy like incontinence and the like. So keep moving up. So we're wanting that energy to move up through the inner thigh to the groin. And doing that one more time, either with the heel of the hand, or those of you more gung-ho could go elbow if you wanted to do that. And you may find points that are a little sore. Maybe you could linger there for a moment. And if you do have any knee pain, I should have said, you could support with something under the, a cushion under the knee. So this upward moving energy, you can just brush the leg a couple of times, keeping that energy lifting and drawing life in to you. You can then release the hands onto the floor behind you and coming back through center, just feeling the difference through the body. So most notably, we've awakened through this inner right seam of the pants and probably your left kidney. And you should be able to feel a difference there. And then rocking again side to side, maybe adding in a little turn, so looking over the head, over the shoulder, away from the knees. And then next time you're over on this left side, we'll stop there, rearranging the legs, and remember you can raise the hips if need be. I'd recommend tucking that left foot underneath the right thigh. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead, and exhale the hands down through Namaste, but coming lower down, so the front directly across from the kidneys, and then working with this inhale to expand and open, and exhale, just palms touch. So we are going to change the breath. It'll feel weird in the front body, but I want you to focus on the back body. So exhale here, And then inhale to open. That's not it. It's okay. Vanessa's dyslexic. And exhaling. Take an inhale here. And then exhaling. Squeezing the kidneys. And then inhale. And although you can't really breathe, there's not much room in the front body. I want you to breathe into the kidneys and then exhaling and opening like you're squeezing, compressing the kidneys themselves, and inhaling, plump the kidneys up, fill them, hydrate them. A couple more times now that we've got the rhythm. And then next time the arms are forward, you can bring the hands, glide them through Namaste. Inhale to take the arms all the way up. And exhale the hands over to the right side, so right hand down, leaning. Inhale back up through center and over to the left side, and pausing there. Cup the head with the hand, and again imagining that massive beach ball. So the right elbow, lean it back, and as you exhale, rounding. Let's take an inhale here, and again we'll switch our breath. As you exhale, open out. Compress in the kidneys, and as you inhale, breathe into, plump up that right kidney, and exhaling. So the movement doesn't really make sense with the breath, but it does to the kidneys. So just allowing that fullness to happen, like you've got a kidney-shaped balloon at the bottom of the ribs there, and it's filling, hydrating, nourishing, soothing. Next time that you are up, stay up. And then rising all the way up, palms touch overhead. Exhale the hands down through Namaste, and take the hands behind you. So either holding here, or if you'd like to, you can lift and open. And you may already start to connect with the inner seam of the pants through the left leg here, perhaps a little stretch. And then exhaling to lower yourself down. Rearrange the legs so that this left foot is further out. And then I'd recommend just starting with the heel of the hand, probably the right hand, and use the heel of the hand. So the kidney meridian does zigzag a little, but for ease, let's just not complicate things and just work with the inner seam of your pants. Leaning in, and if there is any knee issues, then supporting. So the knee doesn't really like this sideways movement. And that it is this upward moving energy. I do love that understanding in Chinese wisdom, is this, so things like digestion should move down. And when there's an imbalance there and there's upward moving energy, then it creates things like reflux and upward issues. So do it again, maybe this time with the left elbow. Just behind the tibia. And you are the boss of your massage, so don't make it so intense that you can't handle it. Just work with what's right for you. So the yin and the yang, that fear, but also safety. And sometimes for some people, safety can be a loaded word. So just find something that is right for you, maybe secure, maybe comfortable. And just brush a couple of times. And from that space of fear, moving into a space of comfort, contentment. And then you can return back up through center. Again, just windscreen wiper, moving from side to side. And then from here, come back through the center and just pausing. Again, these points, the insides of the legs, feeling the presence, the awakeness through the back body now. And then you can swing the legs around and coming towards Anahatasana or puppy pose. So in this pose, the thighs are vertical and stretching forward. But again, the focus is more on this movement of the kidneys. So I'll even give you the choice to decide what breath works better for you. But for me, there's a sense of inhaling and almost hollowing out through the front of the body and plumping up the kidneys. And with the exhale, then melting forehead down and chest towards the earth. Inhale, like you've got helium balloons tied to your kidneys, and they lift. And exhaling. So there's an obvious movement happening here. Inhale, to lift, and exhale to melt. As we bring our awareness into the back body, there's this feeling of moving into that which we cannot see. So let's then just slide back towards child's pose for a moment. And if you have it in your practice, slide the hands under the shoulders and come into Vajrasana, just sitting onto the heels. Feel free to sit onto a block or some support here. So you can take the hands into Namaste. And start to hollow out. So let's just get the movement first. So hollowing out, and like you're diving in, reaching the arms forward. And then you can inhale and lift the head and chest a little, opening the arms out. But reach around and brush the kidneys. And then diving in again. So this will be our exhale to dive in. And inhale to open out. So the idea here is that you're taking or bringing awareness into that which you cannot see. The unknown, maybe the unseeable, and just this symbolic gesture of your willingness to dive in. So as Nelson Mandela said, he said, courage is not the absence of fear. So still just this willingness to dive into that which you cannot see. With carrying with you a feeling of safety, a feeling of trust, in a sense, backing yourself. As you brush the hands over the kidneys like a soothing, there. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Transforming this fear into whatever it is for you. So next time you are diving, you can imagine that 10-meter platform. That's too much, too far, Vanessa, too far. And then diving, placing the hands down, slithering through and coming into Sphinx pose. So we are going to be here a while. This is actually a yin pose for our kidney meridian, which runs up the front and finishes at the, I don't think it finishes, but it comes to the, the little hole in between the collarbones. So as we were doing with the meditation this morning, and that kidney energy is the upward moving energy. You don't have to maintain it all the time, but just getting a sense of this upward lift from the inner thighs, through the inner seam of the pants, up the front of the body, to this at the base of the throat. And whether you have the eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter. Do ensure that the teeth are apart. And if this is too strong for your back, then by all means drop down. So in yin yoga, we can certainly observe the sensation, but we need to do so with discernment. Observe the sensation, perhaps without reacting. Yet, we need to make sure that we're not being injurious or harmful to ourselves. Do no harm. While you may feel that the physical kidneys are being compressed a little, that's okay as well. We have that squeeze and soak effect. You can then slide the elbows out and pillow the hands and pause for a moment. bend the knees, bring the feet up, and just gently allow the feet to rock from side to side. Like trees swaying in the breeze. Then you can make your way up, if you're able to, back into this Sphinx position, but taking the right leg out to the side. So through the inner seam of your pants opening towards the floor, and you may like to keep the belly a little lifted so that you've got some support there. And turning the head from side to side, so turn to look over the left shoulder and then turning to look over the right. Come to center and hold for a few moments. You can go namaste hands again, just this willingness to dive in and see that which you cannot see, to feel safe even within the unknown. And that takes an enormous sense of trust and courage. You can take a few breaths, breathing up through the inner right ankle to knee to thigh, up the front and to the throat. And then cycle your awareness back down to the foot. And coming back up. And the meridian actually starts in the center of the ball of the foot here, if you wanted to take it from there. But one more time. And then releasing, slide the elbows out, and again taking this rocking but adding in the pelvis here, so I guess going for it a little more. Feet come down and the pelvis lifts and rocks as well. When you're ready to, coming back through center and rising up again and switching sides, so left leg out, so the thigh is out so that the knee is in line with the hip. You've got a zigzag angle there. And then let's sway like a goanna, whose belly is close to the earth. Just taking this rocking, swaying, maybe with a little bit of lift through the belly, little bit of lift through the core to help to stabilize. And of course, the side to side movement with the head, you're actually deliberately turning that which you cannot see, but we still continue to look. Maybe through the corner of your eye you can see a little further around with your peripheral vision. Just trying to illuminate the shadow. And in that can bring a sense of safety. come through stillness and namaste hands, but your awareness is not still. So either from the center of the ball of the foot or from the inner ankle, drawing up to that little depression in between the collarbones at the base of the throat. Affirming your sense of safety or security, safe and sound, whatever that is for you. And one last round, breathing up. And then you can stretch the leg back and stay on the forearms, lift up onto the forearms, and you can keep the namaste hands or train track arms, and just the same movement through the kidneys here. So inhale to drop the kidneys down, and exhale to round, or whichever way works for you. But you want maximum movement through that bottom of the rib cage area, the solar plexus at the front, the kidneys at the back. The diaphragm pulsing up and down like a manta ray in the ocean, gliding through the ocean. Of course, our diaphragmatic breath, creating those slow, deep, even breaths that are so nourishing to our nervous system and that overall feeling of safety and relaxation. And then you can bring yourself up and choosing a moment to pause, whether it's in this Vajrasana or child's pose. So it's not so much about the pose, it's more about a little check-in with yourself. Taking any awakenings, any feelings, thoughts, emotions, ideas, imaginings. Just noticing what you notice without needing to change or describe, without needing anything to be other than what it is. But hopefully you're feeling quite nourished and safe and soft right now. But we'll take it further by doing a restorative pose. So just bring the hips onto the floor, swing the legs around, and set yourself up behind you. So you're going to want the block at the end, and it'll be at a different height for us all. And coming with the bolster there, and then, so rather than a stretch for this kidney meridian, we're just going into a feeling of support. So actually place the blanket, so you're already set up here, but then place the blanket over the top of the feet, and wrapping around to tuck underneath the shins and the thighs. So Ainsley, you want to do, just tuck both blankets in underneath. They're too thin. Yeah. So just one each side. And then when you're ready to, coming to lay back. And within you there should be a internal or maybe even an external through your body. Do make sure that the forehead is higher than the chin, which is higher than the chest, which is higher than the hips. The hips are on the floor, and you may need to lift the hips and tuck the tail a little. Make sure that you're comfortable. And imagine yourself at the top of a set of stairs, a beautiful, ornate set of stairs. And as you take one step down the stairs, you instantly feel your whole body relax and soften. And with each and every step, your body lets go more. So you continue to slowly walk down. And with each step, just savoring the letting go. Maybe the tiny muscles of the jaw. Maybe the tiny muscles around the eyes. And then the next step. And you feel a layer, a weight shed from the neck and shoulders. And you take another step and another layer through the neck and shoulders. And your neck and shoulders are starting to feel quite free. You take another step and to your surprise, you let go even more. You're so comfortable. Waves of relaxation begin to wash over you. And you notice, even with the next step, that still more letting go happens. You may notice that your body starts to feel very heavy on the earth. And as you take one more step, your body in that letting go becomes heavier still. It's like you can even if you wanted to, you couldn't move your arms and legs at all. You're so relaxed. But this beautiful staircase, there's still another step and another release. And you get to a point and you think, oh, Vanessa, I can't let go more. And then you take one more step and shed even more tightness, tension. And then curiosity overcomes you and you see, well, what if I took one more step? You can't believe how relaxed you are. The earth receives you, continues to receive you. The letting go continues to happen, maybe through the inner thighs as the blanket supports you. Maybe within the mind. Those thoughts and fears and uncertainties just evaporate like a puff of smoke. And you feel so relaxed, deeply, deeply at ease. And feel like you have drunk deeply from this wellspring of relaxation. you've frolicked and played in the waters, that your kidneys are drenched, your whole body drenched, your whole body so hydrated with this relaxation. You can gradually allow your breath to lengthen, breathing more into the side ribs and to the lower back. And maybe awakening your hands and rubbing them along the inner thighs, that gentle coaxing through the inner thighs. And to come up, you can simply roll off your support. So bring that leg over and come to roll onto your side, off your support, maybe with a pillow, using your arm for a pillow, or you could get something for a pillow or not. The comfort level is already there. And on your side, in the fetal position, a place of complete rest. For many of you, you probably sleep in this shape. It's so comfortable. You're so safe. And then making your way, use your arms to press yourself up, and as we go towards a more traditional yin stretch, I want you to carry this essence of softness with you. So just taking the legs out, and if you have enough props, I'd highly recommend, so we're going into the dragonfly shape, I'd highly recommend having the knees a little bent. If you happen to have that much equipment around. And even lifting the hips up as well. And even with maybe a sense of uncertainty, you can carry this essence of comfort and safety with you as you may fold forward. So for some of us, we'll have the bolster like this. And resting into some of us might be able to fold forward. So the idea is that you're getting a soft stretch, a soft opening through the inner thighs. Not something that's going to get you into the fear response, fight or flight response, but rather something that you can manage. Yeah, so a second bolster. Yeah. Is that okay? So even just rearranging your props so that you have support, you have everything you need. And it might be that you simply stay sitting. Again, scanning through all the areas of the key areas, maybe the hands, the jaw, the neck and shoulders, the belly. And just after you've scanned those key areas, just like that, you can go back to the bottom of the staircase. Bless you. And yes, there is still wisdom, there is still discernment. There's maybe a sensation of stretch, but with this overwhelming sense of relaxation. Navigating, managing the uncertainty with trust in yourself. And it may be that you're just sitting up, and that's fine too. You can gradually awaken yourself and use your arm. Keep the head bowed in. Coming to sit, and we'll go into this cosmic egg. So if you're able to, it does require a little bit of balance, but if you're able to, just wrapping yourself again into this sense of being safe. Even in the not knowing. If you're able to, rest the forehead onto the knees. Not all of us can get there, but do just find a beautiful balance point. Maybe even repeating the mantra, I am safe. Or if that word doesn't work for you, then choosing another. I am cozy. I am comfortable. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And switching now, as you come down, you can bring the bolster underneath your legs, moving towards a Shavasana shape. So entirely optional, but rather than keeping the legs straight, you could go with more of a Baddha Konasana type shape with the soles of the feet together, but your knees are supported. And again, connecting to this yin meridian, the kidney meridian, or not. Most of all, it's this feeling tone, what we call the bhavana, the feeling within the body, within the mind. Rather than a set of stairs, let's this time take the elevator. And as you hop into the elevator and the doors closed, again, if this works for you, and it may not, you can stick to the staircase, no problem. But begin to feel that sensation of descending down, and with it, the melting and softening through your body, the deepening of relaxation, of calm. Keep descending, dropping down into this feeling of ease. Until you get to the very bottom and the doors open and you step out of the lift, and there's a beautiful door with a gleaming doorknob. And as you open that door, you can see before you a lush, rich forest. And you step across the doorway and step into the forest. And as you walk through the forest and you notice the path, and the path is becoming a little more well worn now. And as you walk through the forest and look around, you see the light dancing on the leaves dancing in the breeze. You feel that breeze, that cool breeze on your skin. And as you breathe that fresh air, you feel invigorated, assured, comfortable. And you hear the birds, the symphony of birds around. Hear the breeze through the trees. And you keep walking, and it feels so good. This forest, it has a sense of coming home. And as you continue to walk, just up ahead, you start to notice the trees are thinning and that there's a clearing. And curious, you continue to walk, and you walk to the edge of the forest and look out over this clearing and the lush meadow, green grass, dragonflies dancing, the light, sunlight, warm sunlight on your skin. And you start walking through this field, and walking, you start to notice there's a lake in the middle of the field. This still lake. And it's like you're being drawn to this lake. It feels so comforting, so safe. In this lake, you get to the edge of the lake, and you sit by the lake for some time. Sit so content to watch the light dancing on the surface of the lake. This overwhelming ease and calm within you. You get a sense that within this lake, it's fed by very clean water, a wellspring. And so you dip your toes in the water. You feel so nourished by this water. You actually lay on your belly and dip your hands in the water. And you see your reflection on the surface of the lake, and you look so serene and peaceful. This lake, it's the nourishment. You can't get over the nourishment that it's giving you, so you want to drink it in. So you go ahead and drink from this pure wellspring. Hydrated, deeply at peace. You feel that water moving in, and it's carrying with it more than just water. Nourishment. That sense of certainty, of courage. You drink till you get your fill, a feeling of contentment. You splash the water over your face, and even that feels like it moves instantly into your skin and nourishes you. Your whole body hydrated, plump, full, satisfied. You roll over and lay on your back on the grass and take in the sky. Take it all in. Having drunk your fill, still with the warm sun on your skin, you slowly begin to arise, walking through the meadow, but you're walking differently now. That move like water, move like water. You're flowing through the meadow. Effortlessly, easily, the way that water navigates its way around rocks. You walk through the forest. Moving with fluidity, with ease, in an assured and confident way. You carry that feeling of safety with you. It's not something outside of yourself, it's within you. You can carry that courage with you, even into uncertain times. And in the forest, you can hear the breeze through the leaves and hear the birds. And And draw your sense of hearing closer, and now hearing within the room. Maybe hearing any sounds within yourself. Maybe the sound of your breath a little longer, a little deeper. Carrying all the blessings of this practice with you. So assured. Bringing that glimmer of courage with you as you awaken your body, wiggling the fingers and toes. And roll once again into that safe space of the recovery position, rolling onto your side, whatever side is right for you, and pause. Rested, nourished. Plump and full, safe and sound. You can bring yourself on up to a seated position. And join the hands into Namaste. And even though you don't need to move your hands now, you can just feel into that back body. And it almost feels like you're leaning back into some support there. Like the universe has your back. Even in uncertainty, a sense of trust, this support. Even though you may not have all the answers in any given moment, you can trust this sense of safety, this sense of everything's going to be okay. Feeling so lucky that we have this opportunity to feel safe, to feel held, to actually be safe and to be held by one another. And let us offer this out to all beings who don't have this opportunity at this moment in time, who are perhaps alone or who are perhaps in really tough circumstances. Let us send that sense of safety to them, a sense of support to them. Sending our blessings out with one Om. Please join me in a long inhale. Taking your hands and a little prana blessing from the crown of the head down the face, down the chest, blessing that which we can see and blessing that which we can't see, down the back of the head, the upper back, down the either side of the spine and down the backs of the legs to the soles of the feet. Thank you so much for your practice, everyone. Namaste.